इसको देखें।
Now we are live on YouTube, and Bhatta sir, you can start.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And again, hearty welcome to this post-lunch session. And we'll be beginning with the first session in this post-lunch. And the resource person for this session is Dr. Badrunnisa S. Ma'am. And to conduct the proceedings for this session, I would like to invite Ms. Jagruti Pandey Ma'am. Pandey Ma'am, it's over to you now.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Very good afternoon, everyone. I am so pleased and honored to introduce a guest speaker, Dr. S. Badrunnisa Madam. Dr. Badrunnisa is an advisor for Iqsc Cluster India, Head of Quality Control, Krupanidhi Group of Institute, Bangalore. She is born and brought up in Bellary, and she has completed her master's from Gulbarga and awarded a doctorate degree by Unicoya University, Bangalore. She has a multifaceted personality who has command of both the streams, arts as well as science. Her areas of specializations are biochemistry, drug design, and enzymology. She taught in Bellary Institute of Technology and Management for 13 years. She is a dedicated teacher and teaches in the degree colleges, pharmacy, and nursing as well. She is a proficient in 5 languages and excellent Urdu poet. She is a certificate technical teacher from Cambridge, certified as ISO lead auditor, awarded with Best Principal and Lifetime Achievement Award in Innovation in Teaching. And last but not the least, she is an exceptional motivational speaker for students appearing for their board exams. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Badrunnisa Madam to guiding us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jagruti ma'am, for giving a nice introduction. And it is my pleasure to be with you all today. And today we'll be discussing on what is the role of administration in teaching and learning. I would like to share my screen.
Yes, you are the co-host, ma'am, so you can share.
My screen is can be visualized.
Yes, yes. Just put it on slideshow.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. So let us move on to the topic of the day, that it is role of administration in enhancing the quality in teaching and learning process. First of all, let us look into that what exactly we are going to take today, and understanding about an administration or an administrator, and then we will look into what are the specific requirements for quality teaching, and then finally we will look into the plans, strategies which we draw, and the evaluation of the same, that is the strategic plans. Now let us have a look that what exactly we are going to say about administration. Administration involves not only a teacher, not only an management. Administrator means the leader. Any person who is working as a leader. Here, principal, IQAC coordinator, management, even sometimes if we have student councils, the council head can be considered as administrator. Now, what exactly administrator do and what is administration? It is one of the important tool which gives you a clarity in how the processes and procedures of your institution is functioning, how best these are functioning. A plan will be sorted out and a clarity or efficiency of running that particular process. If I take management as an administrator, then the plan, a strategy will be drawn for teachers, non-teaching staff, as well as for infrastructure, financials, everything to run all these processes smoothly. If I consider principal as an administrator, then the policies or the strategies drawn by a principal for the teachers, specifically for teaching, learning, or academic related events. At the same time, if I consider IQAC coordinator as an administrator, here a specific policies or a specific strategy drawn ahead, like say one semester before or 1 year before, that this is what is an implementation we require, and evaluating the same implementations what we have been designed. So here the administration is the word to give a proper functioning of the institution, or in other words, I can call it as a policy and a process or process procedures which is already been set by the management. Here, these administrators generally ensure specifically that what resources are required, what are the necessary things required. As today we are discussing only on teaching learning process, I will put on the examples, or I'll put on my ideas only on teaching and learning process. So here the educationally effective curriculum, that is how exactly the curriculum has to be reached to the students and what should be the outcome. This is what is an administration means and the administrators. Moving to the next, that how exactly we are going to check for the administrators, or administrators generally should make very, very clear and be available to support their process owners or their process people. Like say, if IQAC coordinator is an administrator, and the coordinator should be available for the teachers, for the students, and for the committee heads anytime to solve their issues or to support them. At the same time, if you take a principal as an administrator, principal also should be available to support the students and their faculty members, that what exactly whenever they are in need. They should have a time to build the collaborations with the peers, and also they have to support the decisions of the teachers or decision of the people who are next to them. That is, whenever some of the positive things coming from, even from a teacher, saying that this way if we do, possibilities that we can improve more better, much better, then if it is required, the administrator has to support that decision and take forward to check for its evaluation or the outcome. Also, an administrator should ensure always the evaluations are meaningful. There should not be any bias. Maybe it is with the students or with the teachers or non-teaching staff, whoever. This the administrator should ensure always the evaluations done on their outcomes should be very, very meaningful and it is unbiased. Also, they should be a good listeners. They should listen the feedback. Maybe it is positive or it is negative. They should be ready to listen their feedback and also look into what particular action can be taken if the feedback is negative. If it is positive also, we have to think about that how the action to be taken to convert this positive aspect into an opportunity, next opportunity. So this is what is the exact role of an administrator. Now, what exactly is required for a quality teaching? What, as I said in the beginning, that we are discussing today the administration related to teaching and learning. Hence, I'm taking here the requirements for quality teaching only. First and foremost, a process required for any good institution that the administrators should be very, very clear with their policies and the procedure. Here, if you are taking the policy procedure for teaching, then a policy has to be written, and whenever it is required, it has to be revised, and it has to be communicated to the teachers to support the teachers that these are the policies. That means we are very, very clear with our mind that what exactly a leader is expecting from the teachers during their process. Then a clear induction and mentoring has to be done. A support policy to the discipline system or for the students is very much required. And also a complete focus should be on the results or outcomes of the students. That is graduation of the student, percentage of graduation of the student. Apart from that, when we are writing the policy procedures for these to the teachers, we also have to look into the infrastructure required for teaching and learning process, number of classrooms or ICT tools or the kind of environment you require in the classroom, lighting, benches, so many things which has also to be have a clear procedure that how you are going to maintain, manage, purchase, all these things to give a proper outcome of your teaching learning process. Apart from that, yes, technology support, that whatever the technology involves in, like maybe use of ICT tools or use of internet, all these things also has to be considered as the major thing. Then opportunities for professional development. Administrator should have a clear procedure or written procedure and clarity in mind that as and when required, the faculty has to be given a chance to develop their professional career or go for the hike in professional development by arranging number of FDP programs specific to the teachers for required for their improvement. Here, I would like to show you one example of the teaching policy. I think I have to share another document here. I'll just try how best I can do it. At this point of time, I just want to let you know that Cluster India has published one book on policy. Can you able to see my screen now?
No, ma'am. The second one is not visible.
Okay. So, okay, I think I have to share it again. Is now it is visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Here at this point, I would like to inform all that the Cluster India has written a book called Institutionalizing Policies and Academic Audit for Higher Educational Institutions. In this, we have tried to give a policy procedures, how exactly the policy procedures will be. I'm just taking you towards the teaching policy because we are working today on teaching policy. The one who is not very clear that how to write the policies can go through this book to make them understand that how the policy has to be written. Yeah, I think I'm on the page to show you that teaching, learning, and evaluation policy. This is one part of this book which I'm trying to show you. Every policy, not only teaching, learning, any policy which you are drawing first, an administrator should have idea that how many processes are running in the institution and segregate each process like teaching, learning, finance, infrastructure, FDP, research, all this like students' welfare, parent interaction, then teachers' welfare. All these are the things which you can segregate. These are the few which I have discussed. Now, as today's topic is on teaching, learning, I'm showing this that you should have the title of the policy and then number for that policy. That has to be decided by the administrator, that which number, like how the processes will go in your institution and what number you are going to give to this policy. And then this is very much important policy in criteria 2 if we talk about NAAC. Then when this policy has been written, is there any revisions done? If you have done, revision date, and then who is responsible for this process? Here it has been shown that head of the department is responsible for this process. Now, head of the department's responsibility, or head of the department will work as an administrator to have an evaluation or check on this particular policy and keep on having an clarity that is the things as per this policy is going or not going. I mean to say here this that administration is not only the management. The thing which is coming to that particular person for administering a small job, that has to be done. Only then the quality will improve, or enhancement in the quality will be seen in the education institute. Here, the responsibility being given to head of the department, and who will be the audience where this head of the department will be having check on this policy is on faculty members and students. However, definitely above head of the department, there is an additional authority, that is IQAC coordinator, who will be having an overall check of number of policies, and also it goes to the management, right? So the thought process has to go while preparing a policy. If really you are looking for enhancement in the quality, then a thought process of putting each and every point, the first point, so what I said, that the what is the title, when you are doing, how the revisions has to be done, and who is responsible for this policy, and exactly who will be the next authority to evaluate it. This is very much required. Then after that, obviously, you need to have what is the purpose of this policy, why you are preparing this policy, what is the statement of the policy, and then you should have the proper way of designing your thing, that how what your thought process is on this particular aspect. Like say you are looking for outcome based education, or you are writing the if you are looking for outcome based education, it is very much compulsory that you should write the course outcomes, program outcomes, program objectives, course objectives. Then on what basis you are writing these outcomes and objectives is on selecting the pedagogy clearly from the Bloom's taxonomy and working on it, or simply you are writing as per affiliating university. That all depends upon your institution, how exactly you are going through. Then this policy or this process is supported with other processes also. Sometimes teaching learning is supported by the extracurricular activities, assignments, and so many other things which really look into this process. Evaluation. I'm just running through this, that how you are writing the learning outcomes, how you are writing methodologies, what is your course plan, what are the rubrics you are using to give the marks to the students, and how you are evaluating them, what are the procedures you are going to follow, what is the pedagogy, what is the way of giving assignments, is the assignments is based on course outcomes and program outcomes, what is the attainment measures you take, how you calculate your attainments, what kind of quizzes or what kind of activities, curricula you are going to give, due to which you are going to say that, yes, you have reached this outcome from this learning. Then what all the documents you are maintaining, who is the person who has to maintain the document, is a teacher. If it is a teacher, how many documents teacher has to put, how many documents head of the department has to put, and how many documents Iqsc has to put. So all these people together is going to reach to the final outcome of this. Do you have a specific forms for this to maintain the proper way of maintenance of the documents, like lesson plan? Do you have a same format for each and every subject, every faculty? Course outcomes, rubric you are following, the analysis, attainment, how exactly have you created a specific forms so that in your document can be seen? So all this, then what are the questions people who are joining newly is can ask you, and how you can solve that? All this is going to be given into your policy, so that you can drop yourself into an enhanced way of checking your process of teaching and learning. Hence, when you have such kind of policies, you really are required an induction to the new people who are joining your institution, because your policies will be known by you, and you have to take an induction and inform them that this is the policy, this terminology means this, and at this point you should act like this. You have to give induction to your new joinees so that they can understand and go for it. So this is what is about the share my screen for the presentation. I hope my presentation is visible again.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, I have to go for Just give me a second. Yeah. So this is what is the requirement for any quality teaching. So drawing this policy and communicating this, who all is responsible for this process, you have to communicate this in a way that they have to accept it. If they have some feedback, you should listen it to them. That is where we say that you have to keep on revising. So now let me take you towards what is the effectiveness, how exactly a quality teaching can be very much effective. Here, when you are very, very clear with your expectations from the students, then your teaching is effective. I mean to say at this point is that any teacher, any course teacher, when going to a class, in the first induction class or in introduction class, has to give a clarity on what is the course objectives and what is the course outcomes and how you are going to deal with them, what kind of assignments will be expected from the students, at what time is being expected, all these things, what is your expectation from the student has to be very, very clear. And then always address a student with an eye contact and call them by name. Then give the lecture supplements which contains hands-on activities. Any kind of an session, you can you have to apply your mind and put an hands-on activity so that the practicality will come into that particular subject or into a course which gives the effectiveness on the student. Also, you should be very, very careful in recognizing the student accomplishments and respond to them appropriately to their concerns. So we should have much patience to look into all these aspects. Then your teaching definitely will be very much effective. All these things, any administrative activity or the teaching process will not come to an end without a teamwork. It is the work of not only a teacher, it is here and there a support from number of people is required to reach to a particular clarity or to the enhancement of the job. Here you see that the management or the principal should have a clear institutional strategic perspective plans, or you can call it as, in short, as SPP. First thing, from the higher end, you should know what is the strategy of the management. And then keeping in mind the management's strategy, Iqsc coordinator should work on the strategy for their program. And these strategies have academic committees which are available, including HODs, to write the strategic plans or SPPs for their own program. Here, I mean, why again I have told program here is, if you have multiple number of programs in your college, say you are giving BA, BCom, BSc, all these things. So each one will be considered as a program. So the Iqsc may plan for all the programs together, but each program strategy also has to be drawn out. Now, all these three has to have here and there mapping. Like, say, for example, if I am telling that the management wants the research and innovation to be improved through teaching, or students has to be motivated to do research, or students should be motivated. Somehow a research culture has to be brought in the institution. If management wants this, then Iqsc has to put their strategy somewhere, saying that all the projects, final year projects of the students should have such a quality that it has to be converted into an UGC paper. Then every program people have to write mapping Iqsc perspective plan to their program, that if one program is having 40 students and in final year 40 students are doing the projects, then they have to they can write their perspective plan saying that at least with the fast learners we are going to give around 10 to 20 UGC papers from our student side along with the guide. The mentoring will be done. So look into all these three. One example I have taken. So now when you produce really that 10 paper, so you have reached the objective of the management. You have reached the objective of the Iqsc, and the process, you have to write a particular process for this, and due to which you have enhanced little bit of quality with this one point. Likewise, you can think what different points you can take. Keep a target in 1 year, one target, or keep 1 year 2 or 3 targets, which can give a proper enhancement in your quality of education, quality in your institution. Maybe entrepreneurship, maybe a placement. Yeah, increase in placement this year. That means that you are working towards that in such a way that you are reaching some benchmark. Now, all these are the plans which you are going to keep into. Now, the plans which you have written need to be evaluated. How you can evaluate this? Who can evaluate this? Again, the administrators will come into a picture, like say management, Iqsc, principal, or head of the department. All these people are responsible to evaluate. Like say in the beginning of this semester, I have put myself that I am going to give 10 research papers. Then at the end of the semester or at the end of the year, is it like I have given 10 papers really or no? If not, say yourself or ask a question that why it has not happened. Maybe there must be a feedback which would have been not supported your policy or a procedure in a way to get its 100% outcome. Change your policy, revise your policy, try for the next year, try for next 6 months. Will it work? So this kind of an exercise is very much necessary in day-to-day processes or day-to-day activities in the institution which is happening. Only then you can expect some enhancement in the quality of the education. Now, as I have discussed much about the strategic plan, let me take you that what exactly is the strategic plan and how it works. Just now I have given a simple example of a research, right? Here, as from the beginning, I'm telling that today's topic is on teaching learning. So I have taken one strategy related to teaching and learning. Say the management has written a strategy on teaching and learning, that management is committed to give a liberal education and its value in 21st century, create an innovative and evolving student-centered value-added courses or certification courses to give academic experience which enables the students to be successful in ever-changing world and informs and enriches the lives of graduates. Now, this words which management will write, sometimes we find these words is a part of vision and mission of the institute, right? You have to pick and understand the values of these words which has been given either in vision or mission or strategy of the management. And who can co-lead this? Again, academic directors, principals, professors, teachers are the people who will co-lead these things and draw their strategy, which can be mapped with these words, and at the end of the term or at the end of the year going to get an outcome of the same. Now, if at all you are here, I have given one example of the vision also, where we say that the institute wants want to be a visionary, that they want a good learning, innovation, research, and research related aspects. That means you draw your strategy taking these words like research, to connect to the vision of a management. Now you work on research, like what best implementation you can do in research, what you do in learning, what you do in innovation. It is just the part of the things which I have taken just to make sure that what I am really talking is possible when a person really wants to do something to enhance the quality in the institution. Now, this is continuation of an example like teaching and learning, which I have taken, and I was talking about program objectives, course outcomes, program outcomes and all. Just for the understanding, if I say that one of the program I have taken, say BSc is a program which I have taken, and I have some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objectives of it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outcomes of it, right? And course objectives and outcomes. Like in this program, I have say around in one semester some 7 courses, right? Now each course will be having its own objectives and its own outcomes. Again, say for example, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the number 1 is this objective, number 2 is this objective, number 1 is this outcome, and number 3 is this outcome. Now, how do you map this? Now, just for your understanding, I have drawn a table here where I have mentioned PO refers to program objective and CO refers to course objective. Now, program objective, you write serially like whatever the number you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. And you have course objective. Remember, every course objective is not equal to program objective. Your course is a small thing. Program is the one which includes 6 to 7 courses in one semester, right? Now, in one semester, if you have that part, one course, then your course may map with one of the objective or maximum to the 2 of the objectives.
ये second plan कसेल याच्यामध्ये ठीक आहे 21 22 राहू दे.
I just request someone is unmuted yourself. I just request please mute yourself.
दोन्ही राहू दे
Manjushri, I just request as a host, I think you can mute everybody.
Yes, I have muted.
Thank you. Yeah. So I was talking about how you are going to map with. It may one of your course may map with the first objective of your program, may not. Likewise, it may map with 1 or 2 objectives of your program. I mean to say, overall, how many of the courses you have, together it is going to map with your program. objectives. Same way, when you do the evaluation part, you should be very careful that when you have written objectives and outcomes of your program and outcomes of your courses, you should evaluate that outcome. Otherwise, there is no meaning that you are writing outcomes. Now here you have to design your question paper, which should be having the column or which should be having a mentioning. Like say you are asking a question of 3 marks on definition. You are asking a question on explaining some principle for 3 marks, right? Now that particular thing is linked to which particular outcome of your course. Is it is on introductory level, it is on understanding level, or it is on analysis level as per the Bloom's taxonomy. Now, when you put this, and the question paper has to be designed keeping your outcomes into your mind. Like 10-mark question on explanation, if I'm asking, obviously a teacher expects some analytical thought of a student to come on a paper for that 10-mark question, right? So your course outcome will reach to something related to analysis, right? So you have to draw your mind. Every teacher has to work on this while preparing the question paper. And mention there, let the student also come to know that if I am writing this answer, I am reaching to this level of my understanding on this subject. If I'm answering only large questions, I'm only analyzing. If I'm a student who is looking only for short answers, questions, then my knowledge is only up till understanding, not more than that, right? So this helps in your understanding your outcomes of your teaching. And prepare a clear scheme of evaluation, saying that if the student writes these points, I'm going to give these many marks, like that. And when you evaluate the paper, clearly mention that for this, if this is these marks, say your question number 1 was having 3 marks, and out of 50 students, only 10 students have been attempted that question. That means understanding level has been reached only to the 10 students out of 50. This way, teacher evaluation will happen where how much your teaching has been grasped by your student, depending upon the way they are answering and the way you are evaluating on your course outcomes. So this matters, and this gives the clarity of your enhancement in quality teaching. Otherwise, there is no meaning simply teaching and simply evaluating, and you don't have the idea that how much the student has taken and how many students have taken. All that is not going to give the sustainability in your teaching. Now, with keeping all this into mind, you are going to strategize. You may be having your different strategies of slow and fast learners. Now, this slow and fast learners, when you are having your own strategy to identify them. Okay, you got the 2 lists. One is slow learners list and one is fast learners list. Now, you also have a strategy that what you are going to do with slow learners and what you are going to do with fast learners. Every college does this. Every college will take remedial classes. Every college will take extra classes for slow learners. And there are colleges who really having a clear strategy for fast learners. I mean to say that not on paper, I mean to say that actively this is happening for the fast learners. And there are hardly colleges who is having an outcome-based learning, who will be checking that if I have taken these many remedial classes for a slow learner, out of 10 slow learners, how many have been come to the level of passing? What is the outcome of it? Like This slow learner was 0 6 months before. And in the semester examination, out of this 10, all 10 passed or only 2 passed? Who is doing this analysis? Many colleges will not do this analysis. Outcome, what has happened to your strategy which you have applied on slow learner is the key point to understand your teaching process is perfect. And outcome of the fast learner. I say, if you really have a strategy for the fast learner, put them for the research. As I said 2-3 slides before, that if you have a strategy and you have a clear planning that for the fast learners, I will push because they will understand more better and they are going to produce a paper. How many papers you got? How many were fast learners? How many you have converted them into a different aspect apart from teaching? This analysis is must if you really looking for enhancement in your teaching process. Now, I'm not talking only about the research. You can think about where you have converted your fast learners. Have you put them into a placement or a place where they are earning to the high CTC, that is their salaries are too high? Means you have made them ready to reach to that particular aspect. So somewhere you have to show the outcomes of both fast and slow learners. Now, all these things, whatever you do, this should have your timeline. Not just talk, not just write on a paper. You should have that. If this is my perspective plan, this is my point, when I'm going to finish, who is responsible for this, right? So if I have 5 different perspectives, that is what in what is that in criteria 6 of NAAC, they ask action plan and outcomes of the action plan in Iqsc meetings, like what you are writing and what you have achieved. Are you growing year-wise? What was there in 2020? What is there in 2021? And what is going to be there in 21-22? Are you evaluating semester-wise or you are evaluating year-wise? What is the outcomes of these evaluations? And definitely a clear check on your growth is must. The growth is not only on placement or not only on any point which is related with the teaching. Maybe it is results, feedback, placement, higher education, or you say research papers, anything which is making your institution grow every year. Like this time you had in 2020, you had only 30% placement, and 2021 you had 60% placement. And in 2022, you are expecting this is going to be higher, more than 60 or 80%. So a clear check on your growth is very much necessary, and this is possible only when administrator having a clear policies and an administrator know how to evaluate without biasing on each point. Only then this is possible. Now, here I would like to show you an example of one of the college who has done this quality objectives. I think I have to stop this sharing and I will share one more document here.
Hello. Huh. Oh.
Is my page is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you able to see quality objectives of the institution?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So see, this is just an example to show you that how the teaching evaluation will be done. Look into the first column. Here the objectives been set, right?
I mean, you need to click on that. It has not opened.
Not open.
No.
Sound. Now, can you see this?
Yes, it is to be seen.
Yeah. So you can see here that this is the quality object, the first column, if you look into the quality objectives been put here, say some 6 quality objectives here. And what is the policy related to this particular objective in the second column. And third column says, how do you measure this policy? What is the method of measurement? And then who is the responsible person? The fourth column says who is responsible for this, and conformity of the service. How do you confirm that this person is working? That means higher to this person will be having a check on this particular thing. That is as a hierarchical thing.
Madam, could you make the size a little bigger so that we are able to see the screen properly?
This is a Word document.
Yeah, the Word file, you can increase the size in the corner, in the right hand corner. You can increase the font size. On the right hand side, you can make it a little bigger. This is Maya. That's all. Because we are not able to see it otherwise. Thank you.
Can you see now? Is it? Yeah, I think I have to increase.
On the right hand side, there is a small line on which you can stretch out.
There it is written 100% something. So you
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now is it a little bit okay?
Yes, it's bigger.
Yeah. You can just see here the quality objective in first column, second column is element of quality policy. That means what are the policies required for this and how the measurement will be done in the third column, and fourth column you see who is responsible for this, and conformity of service in the fifth column says that how you are going to confirm from the people, and target date. This is very, very important. Target date, that is whatever, it is 6 months, 1 year, however you feel like. And what are the resources required to complete this particular aspect? Sorry. And finally, how the evaluation will be done and what is the target or benchmark kept here. No doubt evaluation will be done by percentage of pass percentage, but what is the pass percentage is your benchmark. Here it says that 80% is the feedback benchmark, and the graduation 90%, placement 40%.
Madam has lost connection, I think. Yeah, she'll join.
Things are visible now?
No, you need to share your screen, ma'am.
Oh. Okay. To Is it now?
Yes, visible.
Yeah, now this columns you see here that the objective remains same which you have designed before, and measurement has been taken, that what was the measurement time and target. The target which has been kept at that particular point was feedback rating of the student should be 8 for the staff. That means the scale has been kept between 1 to 10 and expectation that each teacher should get 8. If the teacher gets below 8, the teacher should be answerable that why that feedback is. If it is above 8, a management or the administrator has to appreciate that teacher. So target is 8, right? Now here you can see the blank column which I have shown, 2017-18 odd semester. Means after evaluation, you have to put your value here and say. And likewise, for graduation, 90% is your target. At the completion of the year, if your total graduation is 92%, appreciate, a management or a principal has to appreciate the head of the department. If it is less than that, then the concerned faculty or concerned head is answerable that why this has been not happened, where the changes are required, what exactly the strategy should be for the next year to reach this goal. And this you should keep on checking for each and every point of your system. Like you say placement, you can see here placement has been targeted for 40%. At the end of the year, you should see that is it 40% or above 40%, below 40%. Again, the same thing. If it is below 40%, placement officer is answerable for that. If it is above 40%, an appreciation from the management there or from the administrator there. Same way, you have to keep for every aspect, maybe for research, for anything. Just for example, I have shown these things. This is what is the thing which gives you the clarity that you are really enhancing your system or enhancing your process in teaching and learning. I think I have to share my, this is what is an example. I have taken it for giving you a clear idea that how the administrator role plays very, very important thing in enhancing your quality. It requires a proper planning, proper policies, evaluation, and check of the evaluation. This is what is today's session. And thank you. Thank you so much. You are very much free to ask any questions. Request all the participants to reach Clustered India for further clarification related to NAAC, related to policies, related to any of the academic aspects. Mobile number being given here. This mobile number is of Piyush Pahade sir, who is the founder of Clustered India. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hope I have taken 5 minutes extra.
I just want to ask you one question, ma'am. Actually, the session was fantastic, and you talked about strategic planning, perspective plan, and all those things. And I know that everything requires a lot of planning. And after planning, it requires implementation. So all these, they require that you are always on your toes. But you know, ma'am, I just wanted to ask you that ours is an arts and commerce college. And we don't have much scope for placements after BCom or BA, because, you know, and the type of students we receive in our college, they are mostly from difficult backgrounds. So it's very difficult for us to fetch placements for them, though we invite companies for training. But, you know, the level of the students don't allow us, or they are not, like even after training, they cannot fetch placements. So that is a problem. So now we have introduced some skill development add-on programs so that, you know, they can develop some skills like we have in our home economics department. They learn bakery and all those things. and then we help them to, but again, establishing something of their own, that requires money also again. So can you talk a little bit about all these things? How can we fetch plain, just for the namesake, if we give training, that will not serve the purpose. And even our courses, actually, we are affiliated to the university. So even the courses are not designed in such a fashion that they'll fetch jobs just after their graduation. So what can be done? We lose on research and we lose on placements.
Yeah, this is not only your college. There are almost around 80% of the colleges will face this issue. Almost all affiliated colleges specifically, because the curriculum design is not in our hand. The way, even I am also from the college which is affiliated to one of the university. Only way here is you should have a very strong placement department separately who works only for placement. And the target has to be given to a placement officer that we need these many companies to visit, where they have to serve. Will be left. There are small startups who will take the students, right? But the placement officer will work for that. Like what kind of students we have, for them, which particular companies will fit. And segregation of the students who really wants a job, who really wants the higher education. Because as you said that you are undergraduate students you have, then all the scope is there that they will go for higher education, right? So you have to first take a session understanding that how many are really are in need of job, and how many are interested to go for higher education, and how many are having, as the kind of background people you said, that you should be aware that how many of your students are having already a business, their home business, or it may be small or a big, they're there. So now when you segregate these three batches into, so you have to work for entrepreneurship for the students who are really having their own jobs. You motivate them that how they can take to a next level their particular business, their parents' business, or their ideas, whatever, to the next this one. That is also a good thing which college can do. And say out of 50 students, only 10 wants to go for job. Concentrate on only that 10 for the job. Whereas the remaining, you concentrate on motivating them, giving them number of ways and opportunities that where all higher educations are there, what all they can do, how you people can help them to reach that particular aspect, what are the scholarships they can fetch it for taking higher education. All this, if you work, take a target and work. This semester will work for this person. This semester will work for this semester. This person, definitely you will reach. Actually, this was the target to me some 4 years before, where we were having, even I have a student from BA, BCom, BBA, right, who really will not go for jobs. And that was a challenge to me. 20% was the placement when I have started. Today, I have 92% of the placements. But it took a time of 4 years to understand, segregate, and work on that. I think if you put this strategy and work, definitely you will reach your target.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Over to Bhatta sir for the next session.
Thank you, Badrunisa ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
For a detailed and elaborate explanation about all the topics, and even for solving the queries. And
Madam, I would like to request you to stop sharing your screen.
Yes, I'm doing that. Yeah, now it has got, so it doesn't want to stop actually to me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the interesting lecture. And it was really informative, and each one of us has benefited from it, I hope. And it's now over to Jagruti ma'am to propose the vote of thanks for this session.
Good afternoon, Piyush sir.
Good afternoon.
Good
Piyush.
afternoon.
Yes.
There is one thing that I would like to add to what Manjushri madam had asked for. She had made a mention saying that the placement aspect, and also the students who come from such families or such environments where orienting them itself is a big problem. That's very true. Internships can play a very big role, and whether they are in the syllabi or not in the syllabi. If we can promote them to work with some or the other kind of institution, in any one of the years, you'll slowly start finding a small change coming into them. That could be with the industry, that could be, it could be in any small industry. For example, the other day I was with Kamala Nehru College in Nagpur, in your city itself. And we were with the social sciences department over there. And while talking out, I made a mention saying that one of the colleges in Pune that is associated in Kasbapet area, what it does is that marriage cards are to be prepared, or such kind of material is to be prepared. So that department has taken a lead and has got some of the advanced learners associated with such kind of companies. Some of them have been associated with the print industry, paper industry. Now, they may not be huge paying jobs, but then the students who are coming, they don't expect big targets either. They wish to get accommodated. Once they come to know the process, they become a part of the process. So this one thing can definitely be done. Today's internships will be tomorrow's placements. So, and it's okay if tomorrow they earn 2 lakh rupees a year or something like that. It's okay initially, but as the program progresses ahead over a period of time, good opportunities start pouring into picture. Currently, it is proving the institution and the students, but later on it would not be proving the institution. It would, because the students itself will start working it out. So this could be one more way to improvise on the quality. Thank you. Just an addition.
When we talk to Badrunisa ma'am or Pahade sir, I think the pressure starts building, because there are so many things we need to do, and we feel that we are at sea, because there are there are things which can be done, but it requires help and support from each and every person, not only the Iqsc.
That's
what
it's a team thing.
It is a teamwork.
One person's
It has to be a team effort. It has to be a team
Manjushri
effort.
madam, I would like to add to it. Continuous small interactions.
Yes.
With the team, with the greater team.
Mm-hmm.
Though there can be differences initially, slowly they start dissolving out, and a sense of small responsibility starts setting into each one. That small thing is a big thing, actually.
Yes.
Because then anyone can go to any extent. We just want to, to initiate it. That's
we need to begin. Yes.
We need to begin. Yeah.
Yes.
Jagruti ma'am.
Pandey ma'am.
Jagruti ma'am.
Sir, I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir and ma'am. On behalf of RS Mundle and the entire fraternity of the college, I extend a very heartily vote of thanks to the chief guest who spared time from her busy schedule to grace this seminar. I thank you, ma'am, for gracing your crucial work and sharing with your opinion and finding this present time. We would always look forward for your support, suggestions, and help in near future. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you, Bhattar sir.
Thank you, Jagruti ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, Badrunisa ma'am, once again. for accepting our invitation and also for giving fabulous information, extraordinary information. And the session was full of information right from slide 1. Okay, we are profoundly, we express our profound thanks to you, and we look forward for such cooperation in the future also.
Definitely.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day. Now we proceed towards the next session, and the resource person for the next session is Mr. Piyush Pahade sir, and as informed by Badrunisa ma'am, Piyush Pahade sir is I think so the founder member of cluster of Iqsc colleges, and to give more information about Piyush Pahade sir, I would like to invite my colleague, Dr. Yogesh Nikam. Nikam sir, it's over to you now.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the third session of the seminar. The topic of this session is role of Iqsc in analysis and governance of HEI. And to enlighten us on this topic, we have immensely erudite accommodation amongst us. I feel truly honored and proud to introduce the distinguished resource person of this session, respected Dr. Piyush Pahade sir. Sir is the head of the Department of Zoology and Iqsc coordinator at HV Desai College, Pune. He has been involved in teaching and research more than 30 years. He has outstanding contribution in the area of research. Sir has presented number of research papers in various national and international conferences and seminars. His 10 research papers have been published in various international journals. Similarly, he has chaired many national conferences and seminars. He has also authored 8 books on subjects like biology, zoology, and biotechnology. He is the founder member of Iqsc Cluster India. Sir is also associated with many industries and extends his assistance as an academic expert. He has been the eminent soft skill trainer and conducted more than 2000 workshops on the topic 7 habits of highly effective people. Sir has been invited to deliver lectures in various faculty development programs, workshops, and teacher training programs. He is a member of Board of Studies at Sophia Women's College, Mumbai, member of Syllabus Committee Zoology at Savitribai Phule University, Pune. He has conducted workshops on innovative sketching and labeling skills in zoology in more than 100 colleges all over Maharashtra. He has also developed various interactive modules in zoology for effective training. He has an expertise in the area of standardization of process in academics, and he extends assistance in documentation processes, policy writing, academic audits, website standardization, institutional SOC analysis, and so on. He has been associated with 3 institutions as an Iqsc member, namely St. Teresa's Institute of Education, Santa Cruz, Mumbai, Vivekananda Institute for Professional Studies, New Delhi, Modern Law College, Pune. Dear sir, I, on behalf of R.S. Mundle Dharampet Arts and Commerce College, heartily welcome you and kindly request you to enlighten us on the topic. Over to you, respected Dr. Pahade sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Today we are going to look into a very simple topic, that is role of Iqsc in analysis and governance of HEIs. Now, something very fantastic happened in 2004. NAAC came into picture. And within a few years, Iqsc followed. And nobody knew what Iqsc is supposed to do. Everybody was thinking something is to be done. There has to be one committee called Iqsc, so it is there. It was one of the committees. Then came something called as if you have done your NAAC, you have to send a report. And for years, we used to send that report. Initially a hard copy, later on a soft copy. Then if you have to go for NAAC and if you have not given, first give all the 4 AQRs and then it will go. And then I used to keep on wondering, यहाँ पर जो पूछा गया हुआ information है और वहाँ जो information देनी पड़ती है NAAC में कुछ अलग ही होती है. And I recollect out in 2008, something very amazing happened to me. I was nothing, no way related to NAAC. कोई मेरा संबंध नहीं था. I was a very happy man and I had college had some problems and teachers had some problems. So we used to keep on approaching our principal कि जरा इसको solve करके दो, हमारे PF के issues इसको solve करो, हमारे PH. So maybe it was not in his hands also, or I don't know what the situation was. I thought that this gentleman cannot solve the issues, so we have to do something. So we tried for some committee called as, now it is called CDC, but that time it was LMC. And it was for the first time in that very peaceful college, we went for elections. The environment got triggered up, you know, elections aata hai, to anything can happen. It was a very hot topic, discussion topic. And finally, with bare minimum votes, I could get in. 6 votes were needed, 6 first level votes were needed, and I could get only 6. I was thinking I will get 10, but I could not get 10. I got only 6. That hurt me that I could not get 10, but what hurt my principal the most was that despite all the effort that he had taken, this man has now come in the system. And I used to keep on asking same thing. There's a say in Marathi, Maruti Kamreचं काय झालं? In one of the films of Neeru Phule, Maruti Kamreचं काय झालं? In the same way, PFचं काय झालं? PFचं काय झालं? It used to trouble him the most, and so one fine day he found out a tool कि इसको अगर चुप करना है तो एक ही बात हो सकती है और वो NAAC आपके हेल्प में आ सकता है करके. So in 2008, this gentleman one fine day during the meeting he said, you will be the coordinator of NAAC. So either I should accept it or I should reject it. If I reject it, I cannot ask the next question, PF काय झालं? So I accepted it, and that race began, which is still going on now. Can't help it out. Now it does not stop. Initially, I was running, people were running independently. Now everybody is running, and I am making people run. That's the Manjushri madam also made a mention saying that once you are there, you make us more accountable, and it really brings us into more stressful moments. So since then, actually, I am in stress. So I thought, why not make the entire nation stressful? Anyway. That was just a part of the job, just to introduce, just to come in, a small introduction before we start, so that people who are listening to all the speakers from the morning, they get into a lighter mood, and then we can go ahead. Can you help me to disable the host screen so that I can share my screen now? You will have to allow me to screen share. Yes, thank you. We are going to look into some very simple things. What is the role of Iqsc in quality? Because this particular session is about quality and is on quality. So let us try to talk. What is the role of Iqsc in analysis and governance? A few years ago, I had been to one of the colleges in Mumbai, and I was a very senior member, a very senior member. He was an Iqsc coordinator there. And while talking, she said, why should we collect so many documents? What is the use of collecting these documents? We have been doing all this for some long time. I said, yes, actually that can be done by the office also. She said, exactly, that can be done by the office. Why should we be there? So I replied back that, what do you do with these papers? She said, we do nothing with these papers. It is here. You can see the entire room is full of those papers. Now we don't have a place to sit. I said, that's not the objective of collecting the document. The objective of collecting document is to analyze the documents. She said, why should we analyze the documents? I had been there because they had made a mention that we are having some issues of dropping strength in one of the faculties. I said, do you know why is it dropping down? She said, no, I don't know why it is dropping down in that particular faculty. I said, you go through the analysis and you will understand. Your material is the best material to study. Unless we study our material, we will never know where we are going wrong. And therefore, analysis plays a role. Here, Iqsc comes into picture. And that is the reason why you are able to see Iqsc plays a key role. So, Iqsc is a body of analysis. And the one who analyzes can govern the systems better. And therefore, Iqsc plays an important role in analysis and in governance. This is a statement which I have lifted from NAAC: conscious, consistent, and catalytic action to improve academic and administrative performance. This is what NAAC has made a mention. But then there is one more thing that they have made a functioning for quality enhancement by bringing quality culture. ये enhancement क्या बात आती है, and therefore it started troubling me. Now what does an Iqsc do? Iqsc primarily takes initiatives. What is an initiative? Iqsc tries to see to it that every section, every component in the college functions properly and brings the college to a higher level than it was previously. This is taking initiative. For example, the today's session that is being conducted by this college is a quality initiative of Iqsc. So Iqsc takes initiatives. Tomorrow, even if Marathi department conducts a webinar on quality of Marathi in Maharashtra, and they analyze out things in the webinar, promoting this is actually the part of Iqsc. So Iqsc has taken an initiative, a push to see to it that quality improves. And therefore, there are three words that come into picture. One happens to be that what is an assurance, what is sustenance, and what is enhancement. When we are talking about quality, we talk only of these things. We talk of quality assurance, quality sustenance, and quality enhancement. Now we have around 30 plus participants over here. We are going to play a small exercise over here. I want all of you to please participate in this particular moment. You're able to see the screen over here. You're able to see my screen over here. I want you to take pen and pencil or paper and pencil and please mark it out. Which of this is quality enhancement? Which of this is quality assurance? Which of this is quality sustenance? Can you please help me out? You just make a list and then I'm going to go to the chat box. For some time I'm keeping this in this particular way. I will try to take it to presentation mode so that I can then also look into the chat box. Just one. Oh, so sorry. I have stopped the screen. I'm sorry. Yeah. Fine. Now, can you help me out? Just list down, and then I'm going to talk about, and then we are going to look into the what it is. I want you to group it into 3, whether it is quality assurance QA, whether it is quality, not control actually, but it is okay, enhancement, and what it is. The third part is that you are able to see quality sustenance. QC यानी quality control आता है, पर quality sustenance कह सकते हैं आप, control भी चलेगा वहाँ. Quality assurance, quality sustenance, and quality enhancement. I want you to please mark it out. Research policy is what, financial assistance is what, research papers are what. I'm going to talk with you in the chat boxes. Now I will request the participants to please open up their chat boxes. Can you help me in telling what is a research policy? What, according to you, is a research policy? I'm waiting to look at your chat boxes. Please type. What according to you is a research policy? What according to you is, I'm saying, what according to you is quality assurance? Amongst these, what according to you is quality sustenance? And what according to you is quality enhancement? And you're going to participate in this chat box. Please participate. No, you will be telling, okay, a research policy is quality assurance. Okay, Jyoti ji makes so, okay. Kuldeep ji makes a mention quality enhancement. But what is quality enhancement? A research policy is an academic journal in the field innovation or in the field of innovation study, in the field of innovation studies. No, I want it whether it is quality enhancement, it is quality assurance, or quality sustenance. That's all. Let's take it this way. Let's take it research policy. Some of you have already answered it. Others can. What is research policy? Jyoti ji may says that it's quality assurance. Whereas Kuldeep ji, I think so, is making a mention that it is quality sustenance. Meenakshi ji is making that it's quality sustenance. Anything else to come in, please participate. Yes, I would like to hear from you. What more? See, now somebody is saying that is, for example, Manjushri ji is making a mention saying that it is enhancement.
Many times we feel that it is everything. Sometimes we feel that it covers all the.
No, it's not everything, but then it's okay. Okay. People talk also. That's fantastic. I will like that also.
Quality. Okay,
yes, Manjushri, you made a mention saying it is what? Quality assurance, is it?
As quality enhancement, because people have some quality.
Yes, others can also talk out. That's fine, not an issue.
Yes.
Please speak. Please speak out. Just unmute yourself and talk. It's not an issue. गलत हो गए क्या और बराबर हो गए क्या फर्क पड़ता है ना? थोड़ी कोई कुछ लेके जाने वाला है.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please talk out. Please unmute yourself and talk out. Okay. So far as research policy is concerned, you know, there are multiple views, but then now let us come to research papers published at international level. And here you are able to see Jyoti madam makes a mention, it is quality enhancement. Financial assistance is quality sustenance. And then, well, what do you think so? Come on. I like to hear from you. Let's talk, man.
Should I, sir? This is Jyoti Patil.
Jyoti, you're active. I'm very happy to know that.
Thank you, sir. I just think that yes, it is more or less the same. If you are starting something, if you decide to start something, that is initiative. That is, you can say that assurance. The first thing, assurance. Okay. And
currently, looking at this particular statement alone, Jyoti ji, tell me what is research policy. वो शुरू किया है नहीं किया है बाद में देखेंगे.
Research policy.
There is a research policy in
kind
your
of a
college.
document which regulates your research.
Whether
activities.
it is quality assurance, whether it is sustenance or enhancement.
It is, as I have already mentioned, in my view, it is assurance. Means it is giving you a way that quality can be maintained in this way. So this is a
it
policy.
Is assurance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Now, what is financial assistance according to you?
Sustenance, quality sustenance.
Acha, Manjushri ji makes a mention, it is sustenance.
Even I too, yeah.
Acha, you feel. Who else wants to say something else? Please talk. What you can do is, you can take a picture of this in your mobiles and we can talk out, keeping that in list so that I can directly take everything to the screen. And then I'm able to see everyone at a glance then in that case. I like you to participate. Then the fun comes when participation comes into picture.
Just a moment, sir.
Yeah. We will love. Others should also talk. Please talk. क्या होगा ज्यादा से ज्यादा गलत होगा उससे तो ज्यादा कुछ नहीं हो सकता और किसी की जान थोड़ी जाने वाली है इसमें. You need to talk. I know Nagpurkars take a very hearty meal, but that does not mean that you are not supposed to respond over here. Okay. Yes, let's go ahead. Okay, fine. Somebody says it is quality sustenance. Now, collaboration of research departments of university and college. What is it? What could that be? Out of the three.
Quality enhancement.
Okay, quality enhancement, fine. Excellent placements for the past 5 years. What could that be?
Quality assurance, like if they are placed.
It should be quality assurance.
Yeah.
It will be quality assurance. Okay. Remedial coaching for SC, ST minorities, OBC, Divyangaj. I'm going to give you the answers. Just don't worry.
Remedial is quality
enhancement.
Okay. Fine. Then average teaching service in an institution is 12 years. By the way, if you get a score, if the college gets a score of 12 years, then in that case, you know, the college gets all the 4s, the 4 out of 4. This particular metric in NAAC. तो ये क्या हो सकता है?
Slowly, you will sustain your quality.
Okay, you're saying it's sustenance.
At least sustenance.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
there are so many.
sustenance. Okay. Organizing a student workshop in zoology. What could that be?
Quality enhancement.
Enhancing.
Okay. A 90% plus result for the past 10 years.
Quality sustenance.
Quality sustenance. Okay.
Yes.
Now, let me give the concept of some of the answers are very true. Some of the answers are not so true. Let us see why they are so. We'll try to
When we
understand.
talk about sustenance, there should be some period that you are sustaining it. You are.
Yeah. Let's come to what the logic is first, and then we will go ahead. Fine. I'll be coming to this slide again. When you are talking about assurance, assurance comes from the top to the bottom. So all the policies, all the rules, they are a part of your assurance. If you go to Bata company and there is an employee who says, you purchase this, I give you my guarantee, ye juta 2 saal chalega. And you go to a Bata sports store where you are told that the company gives you a guarantee that this particular shoe will last for 2 years. Which one will you take it very seriously? In one case, the company
Company's
is saying,
assurance.
pardon me?
Company's assurance.
Company's assurance. Assurance comes from the top. The employee is working in the same company, but you don't trust him. So all the assurance, when you make a word called assurance, assurance comes from the top and goes to the bottom. When you talk of enhancement, enhancement starts at the bottom and goes at the top, or it may take place at every level. But enhancement has to be a big thing at the bottom, unless big numbers play the enhancement does not take place. I'll just like to share, I'm not with any party, but then 150 crore vaccinations could take place, primarily because it's a part of enhancement. I may have a policy that everybody must get vaccinated. But I don't have a mechanism whereby everybody is able to take the vaccine. If I price it out, that come on, now the cost of the vaccine is 1,000 rupees. Enhancement will not take place. Only those who can afford will take it. So here you are able to see quality assurance is here. For example, everybody must get the vaccine. And quality enhancement is everybody has taken the vaccine. So enhancement takes place at the bottom of the pyramid. Any enhancement to be done must be done at the bottom of the pyramid. And what goes on between the assurance and the enhancement is sustenance, where at every level, the quality is being maintained. Some time ago, somebody made a mention saying that any sustenance comes with respect to time. Absolutely right. It comes with respect to time. That is the reason why the statements were made for the past 5 years, for the past 8 years, etc. Now look at this particular aspect. Let us look at these particular questions again. This is the job that Iqsc does. Now let us look at the same list once again. Now you can tell me what it is. You can please unmute yourself and talk. What is the research policy now?
Quality assurance.
Assurance. Financial assistance for research. Who can give us that?
From the top. So
From the top.
Again,
So what kind of,
assurance.
what will it be?
assurance.
It's an assurance. Research papers published at international level. Who does that?
We people. So that is enhancement.
That is enhancement. Absolutely right. Unless an institution has a research policy where everybody needs to contribute to research, people will not take it seriously. So here you are able to see there are two aspects of research. One is a research policy and the other is research paper. And you are able to see in the first case it comes as an assurance, whereas in the next case it comes as an enhancement. Collaboration of research departments of university and college. Who can collaborate?
We people.
We people or the institution?
Institution. Here we are talking about the departments, university.
The top people from university and
Absolutely,
college.
the top people from the institution and the university would decide that we need to collaborate. Then maybe the department will go and collaborate out.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, excellent placement for the past 5 years.
Sustenance, because it is
Sustenance,
happening since
absolutely
past 5 years.
The past word is being focused out that you are able to see. A policy to promote the marginalized society into education.
Assurance.
Assurance. Remedial coaching for SC/ST minorities. It has to be
Enhancement.
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 Because it is at the bottom of the pyramid that you are able to see. Now, average teaching service in the institution is 12 years.
Sustenance.
Let's call it sustenance.
Sustenance. Organizing a student workshop in zoology. It would be an enhancement activity.
Enhancement.
Yeah. And a 90+ result in examination for the past 10 years.
Sustenance.
Quality
It's again a
sustenance.
sustenance. I deliberately have taken this exercise because these words are very confusing at times to us.
Yeah.
They appear to be very close, and we feel assurance, enhancement, and sustenance, all of them are the same with a little minor difference, but they are not the same those differences are not very minor. And therefore, you're able to see, I have taken this exercise as to what is what. Assurance is from the top to the bottom. Enhancement is from the bottom to the top. Sustenance is at each and every level. Now, why am I telling you this? Primarily because let us look at what job is Iqsc doing. Iqsc is doing these three important aspects: academic documentation, teacher, departmental committees, councils. In some states you find councils. For example, Delhi has councils, extracurriculars, etc. Now, this documentation, at what level is it going to take place? We're just talking about documentation. Look at this. Yeah.
Department level, teachers, professors level.
That would mean at where does it stand out? It
Bottom.
goes at the enhancement level.
Yeah, enhancement.
Because a very large number of people are going to get involved into this kind of documentation. Now, when we are talking about administrative documentation, important administrative documentation, like for example, you are able to see every year we see to it how many admissions have taken place. Every year, how many students have participated in examination process. Every year, how many students have got fellowships or scholarships from the government. Now, this administrative documentation takes us at a sustenance level. It tells you what the quality is. It is telling you about sustenance. And therefore, you are able to see administrative documentation at this level goes as a measure of sustenance. Whereas when we are talking about policies, planning, strategic documents, academic calendars, Iqsc, NAAC reports, it is a particular body who's going to decide, who's going to work on it, who has been given those relatively bigger authorities. They go up with the assurance mechanisms. I just wanted to give you one example. If you just look at documentation, this documentation also shows who's going to participate at what level. This is what the thought happens to be in giving you an example. So you cannot say, oh, documentation is at enhancement level. No, documentation, what type of documentation is coming into picture? Now, when we talk of all the audits, all these audits, taking a decision that an audit is to be done, who can take that decision?
The top level.
The top level will take. So it becomes a part of the quality assurance mechanism. Being accountable and being collaborative as an individual to encourage self-evaluation, accountability, autonomy, and innovations, to collaborate stakeholders related to higher education. Who can do this?
Ground level, being accountable.
Absolutely right. The ground level. So you are able to see this comes as a part of your enhancement. So at every level, you are able to see when Iqsc is dealing with these issues. I'm just passing out the slides. When Iqsc is dealing at these issues, who is going to be responsible is the first thought we need to understand. At what level we wish to take this particular activity, accordingly, how much of participation is going to come, and what is the objective, whether it is enhancement, whether it is bringing some kind of new situation whereby you're talking about assurance, or it is continuously maintaining what is good, is what needs to count out. And therefore, these are the aspects that matter out. Now, when we are talking of this, Iqsc needs to plan and execute out some things. Planning the activity at the beginning of the year so that it can be, when you take that planning is going to be, Iqsc is an apex body. Planning is therefore going to be an assurance level, but it is going to involve all the stakeholders over there to see to it that it becomes successful. Then all these aspects that you are able to see. While doing so, we need to see to it that we don't, if we want a good participation, don't constantly change the formats. Don't argue with the people. Now, if we have these objectives that we wish to bring assurance and we wish to bring the enhancement in a proper way, in a balanced way, these are some aspects that we need to look into it. We need to see to it that we don't become too bossy. We don't promote half clear concepts. We need to be supportive. In case we do this, then Iqsc succeeds. Same is the case. We need to reach to the maximum masses that you are able to see. And that is also what NAAC expects. Any activity that is being done, to what level are you trying to take it? To see to it that if they want an enhancement, we need to see to it that maximum participation must come into picture. Now, when we are talking about teaching and learning, it's a constructivist approach. That is because a teacher needs training and therefore teacher needs to be trained. That's what I mean to say, because we teach an adult learner. So that would mean that the adult comes with some experiences and therefore the teacher needs to be taught, the teacher needs to be given trainings, and trainings need to be given on a very large scale. Again, then it becomes an enhancement activity. So everywhere, whenever we are talking about, it is either one that is quality assurance, quality control, quality sustenance, or quality enhancement. Feedback is a mechanism to enhance the quality. That's what I wanted to make. All these are the jobs of the Iqsc. Now we come to one more small concept, and that happens to be indicators. What are indicators? Now, for example, once we cross our age of 40, we say, let me do my checkups. It is not that you are going to have diabetes. It is not that you have blood pressure. It's not that you are obese. It's not so. But you say that let me just check out where I stand. So indicators are a sign or a signal that something exists or is true. It is to show the presence or the state of situation or a condition. And it can be quantitative or it can be qualitative. It needs to be reliable, valid, and unbiased. Now, what am I talking? Let's come to something like this. Now, indicators are some of these words. There can be something called as an input. If there is an input, there has to be a process. If there is a process, there has to be an output. If there is an output, there will be an outcome. And if there is an outcome, maybe there can be an impact. NAAC measures us in this particular way only. So therefore, we need to understand what kind of information is NAAC asking and where does it get classified. If it says that how many students you have at your undergraduate level, or how many students does an institution have, you're giving a number, 2,922 students. It's an input. It would mean that they are going to use this number somewhere. And out of this number, they are going to get something out of it. So these numbers is an input. How many teachers? You look at NAAC manual, you will find how many students, how many teachers, how many scholarships, how many fellowships, how many research papers. और हमको लगता है इनको क्या लेन देन है उससे? इनपुट है ये. Once you give that input, what comes is a process. Now, when you look at any process, a process is always described. How do you identify? Some time ago, Badrunisa madam was making a mention. How do you identify slow and advanced learners? You cannot say if they have good marks in the 12th standard, they are good students. If they have bad marks in the 12th standard, they are bad students. There is a process to identify. Once you have a process, then there is something that comes out as an output. Once you have an output, so many students came in at first year level. So many students passed out at the TY level. Output. Our result was 92% outcome. All our students got into jobs. Impact. So there are a variety of kind of indicators which NAAC uses. Today we will try to understand these. When we talk about inputs, we measure the contribution necessary to enable a program to be implemented. When we talk of process indicators, it refers to indicators that measure whether the planned activities have taken place in that particular way or not. When we have put into the process, what was the output? When we have output, what was the level of performance or achievement? And lastly, what is the lasting or effect, or what is the contribution? What is the impact that you are able to see? Are the indicators that you are able to see. Now, we are going to take one small exercise over here. I want you to participate in this exercise. Last time कुछ लोग जरा शर्मा रहे थे. इस समय थोड़े से हम बेशर्म हो जाएंगे. थोड़ी देर में सेशन ही खत्म होने वाला है, तो बेशर्म होने में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ठीक है? Now, forget the weightage of marks and all that. I would just want to tell you, please write down these 5 words. Number 1, input. Number 2, process. Number 3, output. Number 4, outcome. And number 5, impact. ये 5 चीजें हम ध्यान में रखने वाले. Now, you are going to help me in this particular way. Look at these questions. You are able to see 2.1.1, 2.1.2, 2.1, 2.2.1, 2.2.2. Forget क्या heading है उसका. Now tell me, what kind of question is this? Average enrollment percentage of last 5 years. What kind of question is this? What kind of indicator is it? Whether it's an input indicator, whether it's an output indicator, whether it's a process indicator, whether it is what?
According to me, it's input indicator.
Absolutely
It's
right.
input.
It is input indicator. Absolutely right. It's an input indicator. Now, average percentage of seats filled against reserve categories, SC, ST, Divyangajan, as per the reservation policy. What is this?
This is also input.
This is also input. Absolutely right. Now we come to something 2.2.1. The institution assesses the learning levels of the students and organizes special programs for advanced and slow learners.
Output.
How come?
It's a part of process.
Process.
It's a process indicator.
Process.
Absolutely right. It's a
Process.
process. You are identifying. Now, unless you have a process, you are not going to get an output out over there. Now, what should be this student to full-time teacher ratio?
पण मग आता शाळा खूपच लाडाची बंद आहे का? आता बंद आहे कशामुळे?
Yes, please. What
It is output.
How come?
Input.
It's again an input indicator.
Yes.
What is the ratio of student to teachers? Now let's go ahead. We're just trying to analyze one criterion.
Yeah.
Student-centric methods such as experiential learning, participative learning, and problem-solving methodologies are used for enhancing learning experiences. What kind of indicator is this?
Input, what you put in the students.
Are you
It's a
sure?
process.
It's a process indicator.
Either process or input, yeah.
It's not an input indicator.
Process.
What are the, okay, so this is a process indicator that you are able to see. Now, let's go ahead. Teachers use ICT-enabled tools, including online resources for effective teaching and learning process.
This is input or process. I'm getting
Output.
No, it's an
Process.
it's a process indicator.
process.
You are telling how are you
How
teaching.
you are doing that by using
Okay.
ICT. Okay, that is the process.
Now I will further give you one more clue. All the process indicators, all the impact indicators will be checked physically.
Mhm.
And those questions will come in your peer team. Okay. Now, ratio of mentor to mentee, क्या होगा ये? Ratio.
Input.
Input indicator.
Absolutely right. Average percentage of full-time teachers against sanctioned post.
Input.
Input.
Input indicator. Absolutely right. Average percentage of full-time teachers with PhDs.
Input.
Input
Again
again.
an input indicator. Average teaching experience of full-time teachers. It's again an input
indicator.
Absolutely right. Now we come to mechanism of internal assessment is transparent and robust in terms of frequency and mode.
This is
Process.
the mechanism process.
This is a process
Process.
indicator.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. This is a process indicator. Now, mechanism to deal with internal examination related grievances. They are asking for
Process.
a process.
Again a process.
Yes, very true. Teachers and students are aware of stated program and course outcomes of the programs offered by the institution.
Outcome.
This is an outcome. Absolutely right. Correct. This is an outcome. Now we come to attainment of program outcomes and course outcomes are evaluated by the institution.
Impact.
It's going to give us the impact. Absolutely right. Correct. It's an impact. Passing percentage.
Outcome.
Outcome. Let's not talk about satisfaction survey because we are not coming to anything out of it. Now, this is criteria 2 that I have taken. You're able to see all that I wanted to share with you is that a good number of questions have been asked over here as inputs so that they can be applied somewhere else to find the output, to get the outcome, to get the impact. This impact may be in this criteria, this impact may extend to other criteria. So I just wanted to make a mention of 2 things over here. One is when we are involving people into Iqsc, at what level we wish to see that they are working, whether we want them at or whether they are at the quality assurance level or quality enhancement level. Second part is when we are talking about NAAC, when we are talking about quality, are we taking into account what is the input, what is the output, what is it that I am actually looking at, or what is it that NAAC is looking at because of which I am going to analyze it. So unless we know what is that they want and why is it that they want, we will perhaps not be in a status to give the right answers. And these were the only 2 small things that I thought I can cover up in one hour. Thank you so much for participating in this particular session. Your questions are welcome.
SNT College Ramtek. Just I wanted to get knowledge about.
Can you be a little loud?
Just a minute.
Somebody is asking, I think.
Yeah. Can you please be a little loud?
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
Audible, sir?
Yes, please.
Myself, Dr. Shrikant Bhote from SNT College Ramtek, Nagpur.
G.
May I come to know what is the standard ratio of mentor-mentee according to you?
According to UGC, it is to the maximum 1:20.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And
How-
with AICT, it is 1:15.
Oh God.
Okay.
But
So
sir, are
if
they
our
not aware?
ratio,
Sir,
if
are
our
they not-
ratio crosses 30,
Huh.
we have lost all marks.
But are they not aware of the recruitment and all those things?
They are very much aware of it.
Can you
Then-
please guide us how we should deal with that? Because in an arts college, I'm speaking about my college. There is around 700 students, and we are only 11 teachers in the college, right? And
So it is 1:77.
some contributors are there for separate department because there is no permanent staff.
Yeah.
Shall we add that people in the ratio?
What you can possibly do is that if, let us say, what has happened is Maharashtra government says that you can have 20 lectures, 16 lectures as a full-time teacher.
Right.
But then they are ready to pay you only on lecture basis.
Yeah.
There is one thing that you can do, maybe on a lecture basis, but if institution can give a full-time letter at institution level, that can still be counted on. But then how are you going to show their salaries is the other part.
Yeah, that is the question.
So in private institutions, this is regularly being done. They are trying to improvise this ratio in this particular way. They show it out as a full-time teacher.
But the college doesn't pay for the contributory lecturers.
No, that's what happens. No?
Yeah.
That is what is happening. In what is happening currently with private institutions, especially those who are not unaided colleges. What they pay is that may be very little, but they give a letter of a full-time appointment. So that makes a difference to the ratios. There is one of the colleges near Aurangabad, they have gone for researchers only and who have done their PhD and something of that sort, or who have done their PhD and who are into research, and they have tried to take so that this inputs and all that gets balanced out. I am not saying that we have to go for faulty processes, but teacher is a very sensitive kind of issue in NAAC. If you try to increase the full-time number of teachers, then you are able to see student to teacher ratio matches out. But then research may not match out. Something else will start suffering out. That's for sure. And let me be very honest, after looking at all over the nation, there's one thing that I don't know if there is anybody from Andhra Pradesh currently. In Andhra Pradesh in September last, what they have done is, one fine day, they told that all these teachers who are in affiliated colleges and who are on the government payroll, they will be shifted to government colleges. And all of them were shifted to government colleges. Whether you are surplus, you are not surplus, whatever the status is. All the attendants and peons and the office clerks were shifted to government offices. And all the colleges which were so-called affiliated have become private colleges. So variety of things are coming into picture. With Maharashtra, that is not possible because we don't have government colleges. The number is very, very small. But then no new placements are taking place. For the past 10 years or so, there are no placements. Hardly any, unless you remain with 20%, new placements are not given. So if you have 80% of staff which is placed, then you will not ask for a placement. Principals are not being placed out. So you're able to see it's a big issue. But government does not want to come into it. They say it's not our job. And we are into a very fix now what to do. Neither we can take a decision, nor we can implement a decision, nor we are able to get the money, nor we can charge the students. Nothing can be done. So it's a hanging system. That's all going on. This is all over India.
Sir, I would like to explain one situation of my college, whether it is justiciable or not, I don't know. I have junior college in my institution, right? Junior and senior, the combined institution is. So some junior staff are qualified staff in my college, or for senior, but they are permanent in junior.
Okay.
So shall we take that teachers for mentor-mentee?
No, you cannot. The mentor, according to NAAC, is a full-time teacher. A full-time teacher in senior college. Nowhere else.
Okay, flatly I got it.
You cannot even take professional mentors from outside. You cannot take those mentors who are parents. They cannot be treated as mentors.
One circumstances I want to explain once again. I have three departments in which department there is no permanent faculty, and we are running that faculty on the basis of contributories, right? So because of that ratio is already reduced, higher. Sorry, not reduced. It is higher. So shall we take that contributory? Those who are in the separate department.
Ideally, what I suggest you.
Yeah.
Appoint a teacher on a full-time basis. At least the appointment letter should make a mention of that. And maybe some additional teacher may be paid on a lecture basis.
No,
but then unless you change this ratio, things are not going to change over there.
Okay.
There is one more thing that happens in all these systems that I am able to see pan-India, not actually Maharashtra is doing bad in this sector.
Yeah.
Because there are no appointments, so we are not able to get a good talent also into this profession. This is the second part that you are able to see. And the system is neither running nor working nor on its feet, and nothing is happening. And it's a policy decision. Either the institution has to put money from their pockets or the government is to pay. And neither of them are willing to pay, because it is the institution says this is not my responsibility, and the government says we don't have funds to spend on you. There is a logic also that I heard from one of the authorities. They said that for 70 years this system is going on. How long can any government continue with it? Anything has to be self-sufficient. 70 years is a lot of time. So now government says that ठीक है, ये हमारे गले का फंदा है. गरीब लोग पढ़ने के लिए आने के लिए एक म्युनिसिपल स्कूल होती है, वैसे ये म्युनिसिपल कॉलेज है. That's the thought, that they don't speak out, but that's the way they act it out. I'm not against the government, but this is a true fact. We are suffering all.
No, but this is very much fact, because since last 7-8 years there is no appointment at all in the and what
10 years, if I am not wrong, in my institution for the past 10 years there is no appointment.
Yeah. And college institution cannot issue any permanent appointment on their own basis. That's not possible.
No, once you are appointed, then that post is gone.
Yeah.
So the further loss that is going to take place.
Legally, we can't do that, no.
Yeah, that's very true. Alternatively, you have to submit the post. So that हम हमारा देख लेंगे करके. In that case, you have to increase the fees. In that case, you have bigger problems. No, you are into a fix.
Arts and commerce college, it is not possible to increase the fees because already they scored on that current fees.
Yeah, very true. Agreed.
Sir, but the contributory teachers nowadays are supposed to work in only one institution. We have a rule here like that.
Yes,
Like
it is
you
there
have-
everywhere
you
in
cannot
Maharashtra.
go. Yeah, you cannot work as part-time and go to multiple institutions. So if they are going to stay in our institution only, then they can be considered as, because they are there for the full time, though they are not full-time teachers, but they can be assigned this responsibility
No,
of
see,
mentoring.
they can be assigned a responsibility. The second part that Maharashtra government has done is all the more interesting. They say that if there is a workload of 20, you break it down into 9 and 9 and give it to 2 teachers. So now it's not again, I don't know if it is being implemented in Nagpur, but
Yes,
here
yes,
in,
we have. Yeah,
yeah,
it's the
it is
same way, but
implemented all over Maharashtra actually.
yes, but the teachers are staying full-time in the college.
Yeah, they are full time, but with 9,000, what can they do?
Hmm.
That's another issue. And nobody is there to talk from our side. Nobody is there to listen from the other side.
Sorry to consume your time, sir, because I have asked a lot of question in this session, but I want to ask one more question if you allow me.
No, it's open for us, question and answer. I want all of them to ask questions.
What do you think, sir? In the same subject, how many meetings should be arranged for mentees? How many? What is the standard for that? How many meetings?
Ideally, the mentor and mentee should meet at least once in 15 days.
Once in a 15 days.
At least once in 15 days.
Okay.
Otherwise, how do we know the progress of the child and the issues relating to that child? There has to be an intimate association between the mentor and the mentee. Unless the mentor and the mentee feel that they can share, if they are going to meet once in a month, what's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. It would become a kind of a formal meeting. Unless the student starts sharing his things are not going to change. And they could be very small. They appear to be very small, but for them, they can be extremely big.
Yeah.
The sharing out plays a very important role. Second part is something very important that I wish to talk out. 10 years before, when you see the student, you could understand what is the financial position of that particular student.
Right.
Now you are not able to understand what is the possible, especially in the metropolitan cities like Pune, Nagpur, Mumbai. You don't know what is the financial condition of this particular student, whether he or she gets proper meals twice a day. You will find good quality clothes, or they appear to be of good quality being worn by the students. They may have a mobile which is 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 rupees worth, but they may not be having a situation whereby they are able to be, they are happy in their families. We don't know. And this look gap is also gone. So mentoring plays a very important role. The more closer we go to our students, we will possibly be able to understand what is the undercurrent that is running out. And believe me, the undercurrent changes every 5 years. It keeps on changing. So we don't understand what is going on. We don't understand why students don't sit in the classrooms. We don't understand why, despite the best lecture being delivered out, attendance is 60-70%. So unless we know what the undercurrent is, and that can be understood only through mentoring services.
So thank you so much. I listen your lecture very carefully and complete. I listen that complete lecture. I was very happy with that and your explanations.
Yeah, there's something I will like to share my number also in case you can always communicate. All of you can communicate. I'm quite associated with Nagpur. One, it happens to be my native, my parental native, I mean to say. My phone number is 9922995186.
186.
Yeah, 9922995186. This is my phone number. You can message me. This is my WhatsApp number. You can just post me a message. You will be answered that very day. Actually, you are able to see a small logo also near my in the message box now along with it. That is Iqsc cluster. It's an organization of the teachers for the teachers. We focus more on, primarily people keep on asking more about NAAC, but we relate to quality issues. We conduct a variety of audits. We help teachers in teacher training programs. We help teachers in organizations in conducting their NAAC. We help them in their AQARs. If an individual talks to us, the individual is not charged in any way. If an institution comes, definitely we have some modest charges that we charge. There is one more thing, that we have a small app called as Iqsc Cluster app. If you go on our website, Iqsc Cluster, you'll find it. You can be a registered member, and every month some wonderful programs are conducted for the teachers. If you can, and plus you can keep on asking all your questions related to NAAC, they will be answered over there. So that app is a very useful app. You can try that also. So that was in brief that we wanted to talk about. And I keep on coming to Nagpur. Just on the last 6th and 7th of January, I was at Nagpur in Kamla Nehru College. I was there for auditing. We keep on coming to Nagpur. We keep on visiting all the cities all around India. Wherever you need a help, you can always ask for it. We are a team of more than 30 professionals pan India, and we help organizations to better in their quality. Badrunisa Madam is a member of Iqsc Cluster and a very, very active member. We conduct documentation workshops, documentation courses. We conduct policy writing courses, outcome-based education courses, and we have devised out some very simple tools of on outcome-based education, so that colleges go for writing of the outcomes. You must be knowing that in 2021, though the one who's going for NAAC has to write down 2A. 2A talks about the new education policy, into which outcome-based education comes into picture, into which ABC comes into picture, that is credit banks, student credit bank, that comes into picture, into how are you going to apply NEP to your organization comes into picture. All these kind of courses, all these kind of sessions are conducted by us, and we have a very big team and a very nice team actually. Nobody can enter into this particular cluster very easily. The person has to perform, the person has to have some skill. It could be any skill, but it takes time for him to enter in. And we are working day and night for the institutions pan India. We are associated with almost all the states in India to a lesser or a greater extent. We are very, very much in association with Maharashtra, with Karnataka, with Delhi, with Andhra, with Telangana, relatively lesser communicated with Uttar Pradesh and maybe Bihar. Currently, just today, one of the sessions, one of the workshops on AQRs is getting over with Madhya Pradesh. So it was a 4-day workshop with one of the government colleges. And you can always take help from us. You will नाराज नहीं होंगे, इतना बता सकते हैं. Anyway, thank you so much. Any other question you have, or we can stop.
That was an excellent session, sir. And every time I keep on troubling you, and you every time keep on answering all my stupid questions also. We all
are not stupid, no?
Iqsc, and we have so many small questions, and I ring up anytime and you give me you satisfy the queries, and you come up with answers. So thank you very much for helping me every time.
You are doing a great job. So I'm saying every Iqsc coordinator is doing a great job. So they need a support.
Yes.
What happens?
Over to the valedictory function. We have Dr. Patil, and before that, Vote of thanks.
Yogesh Nikam, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of R.S. Mundle, Dharampet Arts and Commerce College, Nagpur, I extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Piyush Pahade, sir. Sir, it has been a great learning experience listening to your deliberation on role of Iqsc in analysis and governance of HEI. Thank you so much, sir, for the extremely informative session. I am also thankful to respected Principal Dr. Tanuja Nafade ma'am, Vice Principal Major Dr. Nagrade sir, Iqsc Coordinator and Head of the Department of English, Dr. Manjushri Sir Deshpande madam, NAAC Coordinator Professor Govindaraja Bhatta sir, SQSC Coordinator Professor Ajinkya Deshpande sir, and thanks to all the participants for your gracious presence. Thank you. Over to you, Bhatta sir.
Thank you, Nikam, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the formal vote of thanks. And now we are into the valedictory session. And to conduct the proceedings of the valedictory session, I would now like to invite our SQAC coordinator, Mr. Ajinkya Deshpande, sir. Ajinkya, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon and welcome all. The chief guest of today's validatory function is respected Dr. Jyoti Patil Madam, Principal of Renuka College. We have also the Principal of our college, Dr. Tanuja Nafade Madam, the Vice Principal of our college, Major Dr. Nagaraj sir, all eminent personality from the field of education and research. I welcome all of you in this validatory function. The online seminar on quality enhancements and sustenance measures in teaching, learning, and assessment. This was the theme, and it was a day-long academic journey which starts with the inaugural function. The seminar gets inaugurated at the hands of Honorable Vice Chancellor of Rashtriya Sandhya Tukadoji Maharaj, Nagpur University, Dr. Subhash Chaudhary sir. President of Dharampet Education Society, respected Ullas Aurangabadkar sir, who also presided the function, also graced this occasion. The due personality very wisely commented about the outcome and tailor-based education system, the need of the hour. After, in this inaugural function, the principal of our college, Dr. Tanuja Nafade Madam, also graced the occasion. After the formal inaugural function, the keynote address was delivered by respected Dr. Leena Gahani Madam, Deputy Advisor, NAAC, Bangalore. She explained vision of NAAC and importance of quality assurance and management for students. After the keynote address, the first session, that is before lunch session, was on online assessment and assessment in revised accreditation framework, and the resource person for this session was respected Dr. Manjunath Rao sir, Deputy Advisor, NAAC, Bangalore. He explained the various formalities and documentation in a very detailed manner. After the lunch, the first session was on role of administration in enhancing the quality in teaching and leadership. And the resource person for this session was Dr. Badrunisha Madam from Bangalore. She nicely explained the various topic regarding the administration and problem faced in this particular area. The third session was on role of Iqsc in analysis and governance of HEI. The resource person of this session was respected Dr. Piyush Pahade sir, who very nicely explained the various confusing item and very crystal clearly explained the concepts like quality assurance, quality enhancement, and quality sustenance, and overall what should our planning and execution and problems related in this particular area. In this particular seminar, we have received about 20 research paper submitted by various research scholars, and which will be published in our proceedings. So before we proceed for further, I would like some participants to give feedback about this NAAC sponsored seminar. And for this, I request Kolhatkar sir, are you there online?
Yes, sir, I am there.
Please give your feedback for this seminar.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Deshpande sir. I am very glad. A very good afternoon to all of you. I am Dr. Malhar Kolhatkar from VME Commerce, JMT Arts and JGP Science College, Nagpur. I must say thanks to the organizer for NAAC sponsored online seminar on quality enhancement and sustenance measures by teaching, learning and assessment. They have given the opportunity to say something about the seminar. Firstly, I congratulate the organizers of the seminar about the grand success, that the reason behind the topic they have chosen for the seminar. All the teachers receive insights on the different methods in teaching and learning and enable them to prepare themselves in the required current situations. The seminars definitely make up the teachers that they have to change themselves for the benefit of the students. Quality enhancement can be possible only with the teaching and learning will cater to the different potentials. Seminar enlighten us the use of ICT and new innovation methods in teaching and learning. Lastly, I must congratulate the principal madam, the organizers, Dr. Sir Deshpande madam, Dr. Bhatta sir, and Dr. Deshpande sir regarding to giving the grand success for the seminar. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Malhar sir. Now I request Meenakshi madam to please give feedback. Meenakshi madam, are you online?
Dr. Meenakshi Vasnik.
Dr. Meenakshi Vasnik madam.
Yes, sir. I, Dr. Meenakshi Vasnik, Assistant Professor, Manorao Kamde Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur, feel proud to be the alumnus, a former student of R.S. Munde Dharampet Arts and Commerce College, Nagpur from batch 1998.
Okay.
So at the very outset, I would like to congratulate R.S. Munde Dharampet Arts and Commerce College, Nagpur for organizing the very influential online seminar on the topic Quality Enhancement and Sustenance Measure in Teaching, Learning and Assessment, which I feel is a buzzword for every educational institution and the order of the day. The hard work and dedication for the success of this seminar is undoubtedly seen through the healthy and active coordination of the entire team of R.S. Munde Dharampet Arts and Commerce College, Honorable Principal Dr. Tanuja Nafre Madam, respected Dr. Manjushri Sardesh Pandey Madam, and respected Govinda Bhatta Sir. The presidential address by Honorable Advocate Ulhas Aurangabadkar was very touching as he emphasized on the provision of network connection to the grassroots level of the most backward areas like Gadchiroli, which was really thought-provoking. Also, very edifying inaugural address delivered by Honorable Vice Chancellor of RTMNU, Dr. Subhash Chaudhary Sir, created an impressive startup of this seminar, wherein he focused on the 6 levels of learning and also stress on the activity-based learning environment by designing the activity for enhancing the quality education. The first plenary session was delivered by respected Manjunath Rao sir, touched all the grounds of the 7 criteria of the NAAC. He explained in a very comprehensible way as how to apply for assessment and accreditation in the process of NAAC. Various concepts of NAAC about the structure of self-study report and current grading pattern of NAAC was very informative and was up to the mark. In all, gaining knowledge from the perspective of a very proficient person like Manjunath Sirs almost clarified the doubts and loopholes in dealing with NAAC process. Listening and gaining knowledge directly from horse's mouth almost made the process of NAAC very crystal clear. The second plenary session delivered by respected Dr. Leena Gahane Madam was very enlightening. Her effective designed presentation made feasible to understand the 7 steps of teaching and learning, that is create, evaluable, analyze, apply, understand, and remember. The 6 aspects of NAAC were noteworthy. Her mind map analysis on quality management system was set up to the mark. As a coordinator of Iqsc, after listening to the enthralling presentation of Dr. Leena Gahane Madam, I feel that it boosted confidence and motivated me to move towards a huge mountaineering of NAAC process in a very systematic manner for the catalytic improvement of my institution. The third plenary session delivered by Dr. S. Badrunisa Madam. In her insightful presentation, Madam has wonderfully elaborated the roles of administration, enhancing the quality policies in teaching learning process. She has brilliantly gave her valuable insight on year-wise and semester-wise evaluation system, which is worth to be applicable in our day-to-day academic diaries. The fourth plenary session was brilliantly explored by Dr. Piyush Pahare sir, who with his interactive session created awareness about the research policies from the three perspectives, that is quality enhancement, quality sustenance, and quality assurance. He told that the quality enhancement has to be a big thing on the bottom. Sir has wonderfully elaborated the main objective of Iqsc with regards to the planning, execution, and fixed concepts. Also, the types of indicators for metrics was very lucidly explained by him. His presentation on the whole was aimed at value education. I find this seminar very fruitful at the end of the day, and I heartily congratulate all the team of R.S. Mundle Dharampet Arts and Commerce College for giving us such an intellectual feast that is the order of the day for a better quality education system. Thank you, and special thanks to Manjushri Madam. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam. Now I request Ashwin Patil, sir. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir. Thank you,
Please give
Deshpande, sir.
feedback.
At the outset, I want to express my sincere gratitude to Manjushri ma'am for extending this particular opportunity, this prerogative to express some of the random thoughts about this particular seminar. So far as this seminar is concerned, it's my opinion that the level of expertise and knowledge that all of the resource persons expressed were of par excellence. In addition, I would appreciate their positive attitudes and the way of explaining the concepts. I must admit the insights that I have gained from this seminar far exceed any other seminar I have actually attended till date. Leena Gane ma'am actually emphasized that particular point that the process of enhancement should be learner-centered and it should be somewhere blended learning should be there. So that is of paramount importance, and according to me, it's a need of hour today. In the session that was delivered by S. Badrunisa ma'am, she actually chalked out a plan which can somewhere help us out to evaluate, the program outcomes, then course outcomes. So that will somewhere, help us out to evaluate that entire process. The last session which I liked the most, that was delivered by Piyush Pahare sir, and he actually clarified a very thin difference that lies among the small concepts like quality assurance, quality sustenance, quality enhancement. I mean, we never pondered upon those things that it could be actually like that. So it has actually deepened our understanding about these small concepts like quality assurance, quality sustenance, and quality enhancement. Speaking about the seminar, the contents that were delivered were meticulously planned, they were insightful, and they were very, very well delivered by all the resource persons. I have learned a great deal, plethora of new things from this particular seminar that I can somewhere use in my teaching as well as in my personal life. I would on the last point, I would definitely say, and it would be of no exaggeration to say that R.S. Mundle College has actually set a kind of a benchmark by organizing this particular seminar, and in a long run we are going to certainly get to see the results of this particular seminar. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for the wonderful feedback. It's like a tonic for our team. Now I request Govindraj Bhatta sir to introduce the chief guest of today's valedictory program, Dr. Jyoti Patil madam. Now, Bhatta sir, please give introduction of Jyoti Patil madam. the chief guest of today's valedictory function.
Thank you, Ajinkya sir. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Rather, we are moving towards a good evening time. So, good evening, everyone. It's a matter of immense pleasure and pride for the organizing team of R.S. Mundle Dharampet Arts and Commerce College to have with us an intellectual par excellence, a versatile individual, and a dedicated teacher as the guest at this valedictory session. The guest at this valedictory session is Dr. Jyoti Patil ma'am, who is presently the principal at Renuka College, Besa, Nagpur. A very highly qualified person, Dr. Patil ma'am has completed her master's in English, doctoral degree in English, and an honorary DLit. She has 33 years of teaching and administrative experience. Dr. Patil has held important positions like that of the NAAC assessor. She is the Vice President of Research Foundation of India, Maharashtra chapter. She is an Infosys trained language trainer and a PhD supervisor in RTM Nagpur University and PhD external examiner in 5 universities. She was the resource person for refresher and the orientation courses in English organized by HRDC Nagpur and Amravati universities. She is the executive member of Association of Indian College Principals and also Organ Donation Movement Nagpur. Dr. Jyoti Patil was former National President of Indian Society for Promotion of English Language and Literature, India, ISPEL. Dr. Jyoti Patil ma'am is the proud recipient of Golden Book of World Records for her poems in Gems, Volume 3. Dr. Jyoti Patil ma'am has been conferred with the Adarsha Shikshak Puraskar by Maharashtra Teachers Council in 2009. She is also the proud recipient of Shikshak Ratna Puraskar and Maharashtra Shikshak Gaurav Puraskar in the year 2011. For her outstanding contribution in the field of education in 2015, Dr. Jyoti Patil was awarded the Devi Ahilya Smriti Rashtriya Puraskar. She has also received the Best Paper Presenter Award at 6 international conferences. Dr. Patil ma'am has published 97 research papers in various national and international conferences and 93 papers in the academic journals. Dr. Jyoti Patil has written and edited 10 books and contributed to 33 chapters in the literary books. Apart from academics, Dr. Jyoti Patil ma'am has immense interest in sports like Kho-Kho, hockey, and table tennis. And she was also the color holder in Kho-Kho. She was also the best NCC cadet. She is also actively involved in social and community services and is a registered organ donor. Now, these are some of the points out of many of our chief guest, Dr. Jyoti Patil ma'am. And we are falling short of time to deal with each and every achievement of Patil ma'am. And I would like to apologize Patil ma'am for making her resume a bit short, for shortening her resume. And these achievements of Patil ma'am have really made her a versatile and dynamic individual. Now, let's welcome Dr. Jyoti Patil ma'am on behalf of the entire organizing team. Ma'am, I accord a very warm and hearty welcome to you at this valedictory session. And I request Jyoti Patil ma'am to address this conference with her words of experience and wisdom. Ma'am, it's over to you now.
My goodness, who is this person who is so great? I should be very brief, and I always used to appreciate if it is brief. Thank you for this very impressive introduction by Govindaraja sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Very pleasant good evening to all present virtually over here at this NAAC sponsored national conference. And since it's a custom, I have to, the chief guest at the inaugural function, Dr. Subhash Chaudhary, Honorable Vice Chancellor, RTM Nagpur University, patrons of the seminar, Advocate Ullas Aurangabadkar, respected President, Dharampet Education Society, Dr. Tanuja Napde, Principal RS Mundle, Dharampet College, the galaxy of erudite speakers who have deliberated upon all critical aspects of the seminar and made it so wonderful and successful. I attended all the sessions and I really enjoyed and I really learned. I added something to it. So it's really wonderful. Dr. Leena Gahane, Deputy Advisor NAAC, Dr. Manjunath Rao, Badrunnisa Kripanidhi, Dr. Piyush Pahare. Of course, I participated and yeah, it was really a fun and it was really a learning experience. That shows that how this kind of a interactive learning, if you involve your students, you learn a lot. Okay, and then you also give them food for thought, which Piyush Pahade has definitely given. And the very promising organizing team members, Manjushri Deshpande, Madam, Iqsc Coordinator Govind Raja Bhatta, and Mr. Ajinkya Deshpande, SQUAC Coordinator and co-conveners, and all the erudite and learned virtual participants who have participated, who are really enthusiastic to learn. Good evening, everyone. Alvin Toffler has said in his book, Future Shock, he has rightly pointed out, if you do not have a strategy, you will be a part of someone else's strategy. And that's true when we see all these things. And this valedictory session symbolizes the culmination of any event at hand. But as T.S. Eliot says, the end is the new beginning, just as the end of this 2021 opens up an avenue to welcome 2022. I wish all of you with what Robert Browning has sung, being a literary person, the year is at the spring, the days at the morning at 7, but now it's evening at 5. The hillsides dew pearl, the larks on the wing, the snails on the thorn. God is in his heaven and all is right with the world.
Yes.
What Lord Tennyson also croons here, hope smiles from the threshold of the year to come whispering, it will be happier. Hope. Wish you all happy and happening 2022. Swadeshi Pujyate Raja, Vidwan Sarvatra Pujyate. The king is respected in his own kingdom, whereas a learned man is respected everywhere. And that's why in a country from ancient times, education, Vidya, was considered to be the third eye of man, which not only gave him insight, but also mental strength and equilibrium of material and spiritual life. Swami Vivekananda too is of the opinion that a society can only be transformed into a strong nation when all are given proper, that is quality education with moral and cultural values. You know, NEP also touch upon this, that moral and cultural values, particularly Indian values, to be touched upon. And he also added the idea of all education, all training should be man-making. And as we know, India is one of the oldest and biggest education system in the world. And now it is one of the largest countries in the world in terms of churning out graduates as job seekers in the global market, while striding towards a complete overhauling in the form of National Education Policy 2020, keeping in view of Industry 4.0, Management 4.0, and now Education 4.0 as a result of rapid changing global scenario. The COVID-19 pandemic between February 2020 and August 2021, followed by many lockdowns and 2 serious and deadly waves. And now the third wave is in the offing with Omicron virus, and also pose a lot of concerns and challenges for the present Indian education system, forcing it to shut down for many a time and later on to shift to complete online mode intermittently. The National Education Policy 2020, which was promulgated on 29th July 2020, has proposed many reforms at all levels of education system, from preschool to highest level of education, which includes increase focus on early childhood care, reform the current exam and teaching system, more stress on teachers training and research culture, and restructure the education regulatory framework. In this context, NAAC has incorporated, as Pahade sir slightly touched upon, incorporated NEP parameters and metrics in all types of educational institutions with effect from 1st December 2021. So if we are going to go in for IIQA or SSR, we have to deal with this. So in this revised manual, therein we have 3 sections, A, B, and C. Section A deals with guidelines for assessment and accreditation. Then Section B focuses on data requirements for self-study report, and which has 5 subsections. You all know. One is executive summary. Second is profile of the college. Third is extended profile of the college. Fourth is quality indicator framework, QIF. That is the complete, we have to deal with the all 7 criteria there. And fifth is data template and documents for quantitative metrics. Now here, NAAC has inserted after that number 2 profile of the college, there is 2A, which is added for institutional preparedness for NEP. This you have to deal with, which you have to describe in maximum 500 words. It has further 5 focal points. Sir has also touched upon some point. The first one is multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary, where you have to delineate the vision plan of institution to transform itself into holistic multidisciplinary institution. So this is one point. The second is academic bank of credits, ABC. Here you have to describe the initiatives taken by the institution to fulfill the requirement of academic bank of credits as proposed in NEP 2020. You have to register your students, and there are so many other information here. Then skill development, you can say skill development, you are doing a lot, but here, listen to it. Describe the efforts made by the institution to strengthen the occasional education and soft skills of students. That is in alignment with NSQF. NSQF means National Skills Qualifications Network. So you have to align whatever skill development you are actually imparting to your students with NSQF. And fourth is appropriate integration of Indian knowledge system. This is very important. That is the crux of NEP 2020. Okay, making it Indianized. It should not be the globalized one. It should be the localized, or I should say localized. Okay, you have to delineate the strategy and details regarding the integration of Indian knowledge system. It may be teaching of Indian languages, culture, and many things in through online courses. Okay, and the last one is focus on OBE, that is outcome-based education. Here you have to describe, it's already there with NAAC, but here you have to describe the institutional initiatives to transform its curriculum towards outcome-based education. You have to explain the efforts made by the institution to capture the outcome-based education in teaching and learning practices. So that has been asked, you have to answer it in 500 words. That is an addition. Okay. And there is need to develop a habitual quality culture. We talk about quality culture in our institutions, and this will require, I think, from the bottom of my heart, that it requires really mental infrastructure more than physical infrastructure, because quality depends upon our sincerity to purpose, our vision, and conviction to do our duties. And as our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has rightly mentioned, till date, we have been focusing on what to think in our education policy. This new education policy, we are going to focus on how to think. Don't you think that now creativity, students, creative faculty should be increased, and their creative power, their critical power should be improved. So that focus is there. And here I will not take much of your time. I will conclude with what George Coronis has observed. As leaders in education, our job is not to control those whom we serve, but to unleash their talent. if innovation is going to be a priority in education, we need to create a culture where trust is the norm and freedom is the standard. So with that, and I really congratulate you for having such a wonderful NAAC sponsored conference. Thank you all for your patient listening. I also wish to express my gratitude to all the organizers, especially Dr. Manjushri Deshpande, for giving me this opportunity to share my views. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your energetic, encouraging, and ever-sparking words and thoughts. Thank you very much. I know we reached to the last part of our valedictory function and our seminar too. I request Iqsc coordinator, Dr. Manjushri Deshpande, madam, for the formal vote of thanks.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, just a moment. Yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Chief guest of this seminar, this valedictory function, Dr. Jyoti Patil ma'am, our principal, Dr. Tanuja Nafre ma'am, vice principal, Dr. Mohan Nagraj sir, and all my dear participant friends. Yes, a very good evening to one and all. After having fruitful deliberations on quality enhancement and sustenance measures in teaching, learning, and assessment, we have come to the last phase of the seminar. Gratitude and appreciation are important facets of our lives. I feel elated to propose a vote of thanks after this extremely fulfilling seminar. At the outset, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the beacon of RTM Nagpur University, our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Subhash Chaudhary sir, for his gracious presence and inspiring words. I would like to express my thanks to our chief guest of the valedictory function, my friend, philosopher, and guide, an extremely enthusiastic and industrious personality who is worth emulating, Dr. Jyoti Patil ma'am, for her valuable insights, especially on NEP. Yes, I am extremely thankful to the president of Dharampet Education Society, Advocate Ulhas Aurangabadkar sir, for motivating us in all our ventures. I am indebted to our principal, Dr. Tanuja Nafre ma'am, who is always steering us to our goals. A word of appreciation and gratitude to all our dynamic, erudite academicians, our resource persons, Dr. Reena Gahane, Dr. L. Manjunath Rao, Dr. Badrunisa, and Dr. Piyush Pahade, for sharing their knowledge and wisdom on various aspects of quality enhancement and sustenance measures in teaching, learning, and assessment. I'm sure we are going to have several useful takeaways from this seminar. I am thankful to Dr. Malhar Kolatkar, Dr. Meenakshi Vasnik, and Mr. Ashwin Patel for their views and opinions in the form of feedback for this seminar. A word of gratitude to our Vice Principal, Dr. Mohan Nagraj sir, and my colleagues, Mr. Govind Raja Bhatta, Mr. Ajinkya Deshpande, and Mr. Deepak Jejani, Mr. Mayur Jalwania, Dr. Yogesh Nikam, Miss Jagruti Pandey, and all the staff members for their all the staff members of R.S. Muley Dharampet Arts and Commerce College for their cooperation and support. A special word of thanks to all our participants whose enthusiastic participation has made this seminar really successful. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank
one last thing which I want to tell all the participants that yes, we have received an overwhelming response in the form of research papers. We nearly have 21 to 23 papers right now, which would be, we'll be publishing them, and we'll get back to you. We'll be informing you about the publication on the group. So don't leave the group, and the feedback link will be shared to you on the group. Kindly fill the feedback form to get your certificates. Thank you for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and a great week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.